Ladies and gentlemen, hello and welcome to Unit Lost. I am Stylosa and welcome back to the Overwatch counter class. Today, we're going to talk about the tank heroes, so let's get right into this. Let's talk about D.Va to begin with. Now, who the hell is D.Va strong against? Well, D.Va is very strong against Widowmaker. Now, what you need to do here, and this is kind of what you need to do with D.Va almost all of the time when she's strong against these heroes I'm about to list, is you dive onto them with Defense Matrix active. This is because, well, you activate Defense Matrix and then you jump at them. Because Defense Matrix intercepts projectiles, this means you cannot be attacked. So you find that Widowmaker and you turn on your Defense Matrix, you jump towards her, you land on top of her and you land on top of her, and then you start firing your fusion cannons into her. You'll probably kill her, right? She can't really do enough damage to you if you just come around the corner and jump on top of her. And he's sort of saying that, jump on top of... There is a message, a subliminal message in this video. Jump on top of Widowmaker is the message. Also, you're very strong against Mercy as well, for the same reason. Now, Mercy can fly away using Guardian Angel, but you can chase Mercy down. So all you need to do is just keep jumping after Mercy and take her out. The best way to think about D.Va is she's sort of like this... she's like an assault assassin. She's got a high health pool and armor pool. She can rapidly move, but her weapons are point blank range. So you have to jump right on top of somebody, preferably a Widowmaker, and then this is getting worse, and then unload into them, and then you win. You're also good against like Hanzo, because I mean, what can he do to you? Although you got to be really careful with Hanzo though, because if Hanzo fires his multi-arrow into the ground and it pops up and hits you, it could cause massive damage to you and then potentially take you out. So almost, if anybody's really low health and really weak and doesn't have high mobility options to get away from D.Va, then D.Va is generally strong against them. What I will say though about D.Va, we do know that Blizzard are looking at D.Va as of the recording of this video. I expect her to have some sort of changes, possibly to her range, because it's a little bit short at the moment, or maybe they'll increase the damage a little bit. But yeah, so the question is, who the hell is she weak against? Mei. She will absolutely annihilate you. She will just freeze you and then shoot you and then freeze you and then shoot, and then you're dead. You cannot beat Mei. You just cannot beat Mei. You can't Defense Matrix her standard attack because it's a beam, it just goes through it. So yeah, she's real bad news. Zenyatta is really good at taking you out as well, but if you do jump onto Zenyatta, you should be able to completely kill him pretty quick. But if Zenyatta gets you from range and he drops the Discord orb onto you, so you take 50% extra damage from all damage sources, everybody will kill you then. I mean, even Zenyatta himself could just burn you down, which is pretty strong. Possibly a Roadhog could be an issue for you as well, because he's got a lot of health just like you, but he can heal himself, so he can just keep blasting away at you and then heal himself and then carry on blasting away at you. What I would do is I wouldn't necessarily dive onto a Roadhog if I was a D.Va. If I seen Roadhog, I'd sort of stay away from him. You're also pretty weak against the Soldier 76 because he's got too much sustain. If his healer's available and he drops that on the floor and he just keeps shooting at you, you cannot kill him. And also he's pretty quick soldier, as he can sprint and run off, which is in between your boost cooldowns. So yeah, he can be a bit of a problem. In fact, I like playing against D.Va when I play Soldier 76. Ah yes, big man Reinhardt. He's probably my favourite tank, although Zarya is pretty close to that, maybe. I don't know. Depends what mood I'm in. Anyway, let's talk about Reinhardt. Who the hell is Reinhardt strong against? Well, Reinhardt's got this thing called a barrier which absorbs 2,000 damage, and it blocks almost every projectile with the exception of Symmetra's orbs, so the big charged-up attack from Symmetra, Winston's Tesla cannon, other Reinhardt fire strikes, and possibly some other attacks, but the majority of attacks he does block with his shield. So this means he's very good against somebody like Soldier 76, who puts out not a lot of damage, a lot of poke damage, a lot of consistently low damage, but the barrier just absorbs it, and the barrier will absorb this for basically ever. So it's really frustrating when you play as Soldier and you see the barrier. Still, if you are playing as Soldier, you should still shoot the barrier. And in fact, you should always shoot Reinhardt's barrier, regardless of whoever the hell you're playing. But if there's a better target than the barrier, then don't just shoot the barrier if somebody's shooting you. That would be absolutely, well, it would be stupid, wouldn't it, ladies and gentlemen? But yeah, if Soldier uses his ultimate, you can just put the shield in his face and it completely negates his ultimate, which really pisses off Soldier players, and it's funny if you're playing Reinhardt, let's face it. Winston, you are pretty strong against Winston, because Winston cannot do enough damage to you. You can just kill him. So if Winston jumps onto you thinking he's going to kill you, well, you could just smash him in the head with a hammer and he'll die before... you'll kill him before he kills you. But probably you're going to charge him and pin him to the wall and then smash his face in. You're going to kill Winston. He's crap. Torbjorn as well. He's not very good against you because his turret doesn't do a lot of damage. Your shield will just absorb all the damage of the turret. You can walk up to the turret if you wanted to, then smash the shit out of it. Or you could just charge into the turret, take it out, then beat the shit out of the little man himself. You got to be a little bit careful though with Torbjorn. He can catch you unawares sometimes. I mean, if he's got his ultimate available, he could probably wipe you out. But his right click is pretty powerful. If he starts getting you in the head with that, then he could maybe take you out. But as a package, taking on a Torbjorn and a turret, Reinhardt, yeah, he can deal with that. He's very good against Hanzo as well, because Hanzo just doesn't really do anything to Reinhardt. Yeah, if Hanzo gets his multi-arrow off, well, his scatter arrow, he fires it into the ground and it pops up and it hits you, yeah, he could potentially spike you with damage and then take you out. But a lot of the time, Hanzo just cannot really do anything to you, so you don't really have to worry about him all too much. You're very strong against somebody like Lucio as well, because, again, can't do enough damage to you and you can beat the shit out of him. Reinhardt is a very powerful character in melee range, but there are a lot of characters who can sort of take advantage of that and take him out, which I think we'll probably get onto now. I don't think there's any more people who he's really strong against. I guess the thing with Reinhardt is you could say he's strong against anybody if he catches them in his charge. So other tanks, if you're very clever with Reinhardt and you see like a Roadhog and you charge him, you pin him to the wall, and then you smack the shit out of him, you'll kill him. And this extends to almost any character in the game. I mean, most characters will flat out die when you hit them with the charge, because that does 50 damage, pin them to the wall, that does 300 damage, so they're dead. Most characters anyway. So who the hell would he be weak against? Well, he's weak against Bastion, right? Now, if you've watched my other videos where I was talking about the defense heroes, you will see how fast the shield drops when Bastion just completely trashes it when he's in turret mode or sentry mode. So you've got to be really careful of that. If you walk around the corner as Reinhardt and you see a Bastion firing into your shield, you need to deactivate it and walk away, because he will melt the shield and you're not effective if you don't have a shield, right? Reaper will completely make a mess of you as well. This is what Reaper's designed to do. He's close range anti-tank. He kills every tank. He will whitewash Reinhardt unless you manage to charge him. See, this is the good thing about Overwatch. You do have a little bit of an option. It's like if you're Roadhog, which we'll get onto in a minute. Yeah, Reaper's strong against Roadhog, but if Roadhog hooks him and then shoots him, well, then Roadhog can kill him. So yeah, you've got to be aware of Reinhardt. Not of Reinhardt, of Reaper if you're playing Reinhardt. McCree. Yeah, McCree's going to wipe you out, but McCree's going to get changed as of the recording of this video. He's going to have the damage reduced on his Fan the Hammer. Still, he's going to be able to flashbang you, Fan the Hammer you, roll, and then Fan the Hammer you again. So he's still going to be strong against you. He can also throw his flashbang over your shield when you've got it activated. So if you're walking towards a McCree, and it is a good McCree player, they'll throw the flashbang in the air, and it will still flashbang you, and then they'll kill you. So you've got to be really careful of that. You're weak, really, really weak against Pharah because you can't attack her. Yeah, you can try and get her with your Fire Strike, but good luck with that. I mean, I think I've landed maybe 2 hits on a Pharah out of about 1,000 attempts. It's very difficult. But she can just fly around and just bomb you from orbit, and then, well, you're dead. Tracer is a major pain up the arse, and I mean a major pain up the arse for Reinhardt. Reinhardt needs to get you in close range, at point-blank melee range. Tracer needs you at, like, almost point-blank range, but not really point-blank range. So she can just keep jumping around, shooting you, killing you. It's really painful to die to a Tracer as Reinhardt, because it's like a death of 1,000 cuts. It's annoying, massively annoying. Yeah, so I think that's pretty much it for Reinhardt. You just need, all you've got to think with Reinhardt is stay with your team, keep your barrier active, and just try and get clever with your use of charge, because a lot of the counters to you, they're not instant counters. It's not like you are totally dead. You do have a little bit of time to react because you've got such a high health pool. I would say Mei as well. She's probably a bit of a counter to you. I mean, Mei can wipe out most of the tanks. She'll freeze you, but she can't freeze through your barrier. She actually has to run through the barrier to get to you, so do be aware of that. Time for the big man himself, Mr. Roadhog. Now, Roadhog is beautiful. Roadhog is like a brawler DPS tank. That's what I like to kind of view him as. He's not the guy who protects the team. He's the guy who just kills the enemy team and takes a load of damage himself if you're stupid enough to attack him, but can also put out a ton of damage and then can just heal himself. A lot of the time, I find myself playing Roadhog when there's no support on the team. Now, there should be a support on your team most of the time, right? There are team compositions that work quite well, and hopefully as you progress through the game and get higher in levels, and, well, I mean, player level doesn't indicate skill, but you get more experienced as a player, and other players do, you will generally have a tank and a support on your team. If you don't, Roadhog is a good call because he can heal himself, and it's actually really strong. So, who the hell is he strong against? Well, this is a weird one, right? He's strong and weak against Reaper. If Reaper jumps onto you and you hook him, you kill him. You absolutely kill him. If you left click onto Reaper in his face and then probably do it again, he's dead, okay? But he's firing at you at the same time, so you got to be careful. It's almost like it's more equal than it isn't. This is, I mean, if Reaper jumps you and gets the advantage, he'll kill you. But if you know where he's coming, you get the hook on him, you can probably kill the Reaper. It's quite interesting. Very strong against the Mercy because he can just hook Mercy and kill her. He's very strong against Pharah as well for the same reason. This is because his hook is really, really good, which this also makes him strong against somebody like Tracer. If anybody's got high movement and low health and you land that hook on them, you pull them in, you don't even have to do anything fancy. I mean, there is a fancy combo, right, for the hook, and I'll tell you what it is. It's a right click. Well, I'm using PC terms again. So it's his secondary attack, the hook, the melee, and his standard attack. Or you can change the standard attack for the melee at the end if you wanted to, like switch them in position. This will do a ton of damage when you hook people. You don't even have to do the secondary attack to begin with. You can just hook. So all of the low health heroes, like your Tracers, your Mercies, your Pharahs, if you hook them and then press left click, they're dead. They are absolutely dead. This means you can control a lot of area. And it also means, well, a lot of people don't realise, the range on the hook is actually quite good. You can hook Pharahs quite consistently. If the Pharah's clever and she stays in the high ground, then yeah, it's going to be difficult. But Pharah, if a lot of the time, this sort of, you see them float into the ground, don't you? You can pull them out of the air and just absolutely destroy them. So yeah, I'd say he's pretty strong against them as well. I mean, fast-moving heroes. Genji, he's strong against him, kind of. Again, it depends on landing the hook because Genji will just jump away from you. You see, because you have got a medium-ranged weapon as Roadhog. Your left, I'm just doing it again, your left click. Your standard attack is close range. Your secondary attack is medium range. But beyond that, yeah, you're just going to get killed or you're going to get slowly worked down. He never really gets instantly killed, but it's kind of frustrating because you've got such a high health pool and you can heal that you need to be a bit clever with your positioning because the characters you're weak against, I'm just going to list these all off because you're weak against these for the same reason. I mean, you're weak against like a Soldier 76, a Widowmaker, a Hanzo. All the tanks are weak against Zenyatta because he can debuff you and then wipe you out. Like a Junkrat, anybody, or like a D.Va out of her mech, you're actually quite weak against her. It's because you don't have the range to deal with them. If they're out of range of your hook, out of range of your secondary attack, well, you just need to move away because you don't have any mobility really as Roadhog. You're moving fairly slow. Yeah, you're a big target. Yeah, you're powerful, but you need them to come into your zone of influence. If they don't come close to you, you've got a problem. Then you've got to get really clever with your positioning and you've got to move yourself like around the corner, or you should be by the payload quite a lot if you're on like a payload map. So you should be clever with the payload positioning and sort of hide away from it. See, because with Roadhog, you will never instantly die. It's like Reinhardt. You'll never instantly die. In fact, it's like most of the tanks, right? You won't instantly die. You've got an option and you need to be clever with what you're doing and you have to change the way you play the hero. See, all of the tanks play radically different. So I think, yeah, that's kind of what you need to do with Roadhog. So let's move on to the final one. This is, well, the final one? I forgot about Winston. Let's do Zarya anyway before we do Winston. No, let's do Winston. Does Winston come with you? Yeah, it does. Zed's last in the alphabet star. You stupid idiot. What you, I mean, what? Right then, Winston. Let's do Winston. So who the hell is Winston strong against? Yeah, well, Winston, he is the counter to Genji because Genji can't do shit to Winston and Genji will just die. Genji can't deflect Winston's Tesla cannon. Winston can just keep chasing after the Genji because Winston's highly mobile. Winston can drop his shield down, which protects him from incoming damage, and then can just focus on... Winston's like he's like an assassin chimp. I know he's a gorilla, but I like calling him a chimp. He can dive onto you, dives into the backline. He's kind of similar in some ways to D.Va in the way he works, but he's much more effective because he can block attacks coming in from like every direction, whereas D.Va's defense matrix isn't as good. I think maybe Blizzard should probably look at D.Va's defense matrix. All right, so yeah, you wipe out a Genji, you wipe out a Widowmaker. Widowmaker cannot do anything to you. She cannot kill you if you jump onto her. However, you have to be really careful. If Widowmaker snipes you as you're jumping towards her, she can probably then just kill you with her standard left click. I'm doing it again. Her standard assault cannon. This ain't Warhammer. Her standard bloody assault rifle shots will probably kill you because the headshot, you know, you're looking at 300 damage and then she's just going to mow you as you come in, which is pretty bad. You're very strong against like a Mercy as well, but you got to be careful because Mercy can jump away from you, but you can chase her down. One of the things with Winston you've got to be careful of is don't get too carried away. He is it's a very fine balance with Winston. You want to dive into the back line, take somebody out, and then get out. What you don't want to do is dive after somebody, drop your shield, and then start chasing them as your shield gets taken out. You need your shield. When that's destroyed and you're not actually inside it, you're going to take a lot of damage from the enemy team because they're all going to turn around and want to kill this massive rampaging gorilla that's destroying their back line. You're also quite good against Torbjorn, because Torbjorn, like, a lot of the, and actually, you know what? You're quite good against a lot of characters that you wouldn't think you're actually that good against. So, like, you're good against the Reaper, you're good against the Soldier, but only if you play clever. What you've got to do is when you jump onto these heroes, now this is if you've got them isolated, yeah? Don't fight, well, with Winston, you don't really want to fight groups of people, you just want to fight people on their own. So if I jump onto a Reaper, now Reaper's the counter to Winston. Reaper will just kill you, right, and do too much damage to you. However, if you drop your shield and then you move back, so Reaper's firing into your shield, yeah? You've got to sort of almost bait him to fire at the shield and you move out of the shield, like use it as a blocker. Your Tesla shots still go through your shield, so you can still Tesla him. Now, you've got to be careful, because Reaper's probably going to go into Wraith form and then mess around and do all that kind of crap. So sometimes with Reaper, it's a good idea to jump on him, start attacking him, wait for him to go into Wraith form, then drop the shield, then carry on attacking him. Soldier 76 is a simpler proposition. You jump onto him, drop the shield, move back, keep Teslaing him, and you'll probably kill him. So Winston's actually quite good. I mean, I don't think I'm a big fan of the fact you don't really have to aim Winston's attack. It is a little bit weird. Like, maybe they should have something where you can, like, it does more damage, sort of, like, in a closer range to Winston or something. I don't know. But yeah, Winston, he's very strong, Winston is. And he can often turn the game in a lot of situations, and he's very good on control point maps as well, because everybody tends to clump together on the point. Winston can go in and just start doing work on people. It's beautiful. But who the hell would he be weak against? Well, McCree, right? Most of the tanks are weak against McCree. McCree gets the flashbang, he shoots you, he fans the hammers, he rolls, he fans the hammers. You're going to take a lot of damage. Even after they nerf him, you're still going to take damage. Farah, you're weak against her because she can just fly up in the air and bombard you from above. You can actually jump after Farah and electrocute her if you really want to, but you're probably not going to kill her, and she's probably not going to be very happy with that. But it is kind of funny to do it. Sometimes you will get the kill. Reaper, you are weak against Reaper if he comes into your shield and he's a clever player. He can take you out. Zenyatta, all the tanks are weak against Zenyatta because he just debuffs you and then bombs you from range. But again, you jump onto him. I mean, Zenyatta's going to die. He's not going to be able to take that level of guerrilla abuse. He's just going to die, you know what I mean? Interestingly, though, what I would say is, out of all of the tanks, Winston's probably weak against Roadhog. In a tank-on-tank fight, Roadhog is a straight-up, we're just going to trade blows. Roadhog will probably kill you. Because he's got a lot of health, Roadhog can just heal himself after you've done like a certain number of damage to him, because you don't do that much damage as Winston. Obviously, you've got to remember it's an AoE attack, so it's like slow damage over time onto one target, but if there's multiple targets, you'll hit all of them. Apologies there, ladies and gentlemen. I had a hiccup. Good God. Professionalism. But yeah, like, Winston... I like Winston. I think he's got his uses. He is quite powerful, but you just need to be kind of a bit cute when you use Winston. But I mean, if you see an enemy Widowmaker and she's completely wrecking your team, well, just get onto Winston, jump onto her, and absolutely destroy her. Okay, now let's move on to Zarya, the final tank. I think she's my favourite tank, then Reinhardt. I don't know. They kind of like... I interchange between both of them. But anyways, who the hell is Zarya strong against? Well, let's take a look at this, because Zarya is a bit of a monster. I think she's my favourite tank. I really enjoy Zarya. She's magic. Anyway, who the hell is she strong against? Well, strong against the Junkrat because, well, you can predict when Junkrat's explosives are going to go off, because the main thing with Zarya is you need to know when to put your barrier onto an ally and put the barrier onto yourself, because when you take damage and the barrier is active, it charges up your attack and you do a shitload of damage. When Junkrat's spamming his bombs at you, you can predict when they're going to explode, so you just step out into them and turn on the barrier and go, oh, hello there, and then you just, well, get free charge. So we always like a Junkrat. Same reason we like a Farah as well. You also, you actually have got quite a lot of range on your beam attack, like your standard attack with your weapon, so you can kind of erase Farah from the sky when she's jumping around. It's not massive range, but do be aware that it is a little bit deceptive and it doesn't actually line up entirely with the aiming crosshair. So yeah, it's a bit weird. It takes some time to get used to. Strong against like a McCree. I mean, McCree is strong against all of the tanks, but you have a barrier. So if you see McCree coming, you can pop your barrier and then you can just wipe him out, because McCree starts firing at you. He's charging up your weapon, and while your barrier is active, this is. And also, you're immune to the flashbang while it's active. So that's obviously a major strong thing. Bastion is an interesting one as well, because you can pop your barrier, run towards Bastion. If he shoots you, you will get like instantly charged and you can just destroy him. She's actually quite strong against him, but the thing is with Bastion, when he's in sentry mode, if he's got like a lot of range on you, you're not going to kill him, right? But you've got to remember, your secondary attack is an orb. It's almost like a grenade, a plasma bomb style of orb. I don't even know what it's called. It's like an orb of plasma that you can fire. So it's kind of like Junkrat's bombs. They're like projectiles that are affected by gravity, but in like a more heavy way than, let's say, Hanzo's are. So you can loop these things over walls and you can fire them onto turrets. This also makes you very strong against somebody like Torbjorn. Even when you don't have charge on your weapon through the being attacked while the barriers are active, you can still fire this and just keep firing it at turrets, anything that's stationary, and it will take them out eventually. It's very frustrating to play against. She's also quite good to bombard like groups of enemy positions. Zarya is a she's like a, you need to be on the front line with Zarya and you can really boss the issue, but you can do incredible spike damage if you maintain and almost, well, it's not maintain, but it's if you control your barriers correctly. So you put them up at the right time to get charged, because as I say, you only get charged when you take damage while the barriers are active, either the one that you put on your ally or the one that you put on yourself. So I probably would say, yeah, she's mainly strong against those guys, but she's also strong against other tanks as well in a lot of ways, because she can mitigate their damage with the shields, and if they dare to attack her, then she does more damage back to them, and it's a bit ridiculous. Like Zarya, she's almost my go-to tank if we need a tank and we don't have enough damage on the team, because you can consistently do a ton of damage once you get used to playing Zarya. She's so much fun. Like, whereas like a Reinhardt, you're not going to do that much damage, but you can protect other damage dealers quite well. A Roadhog, if you have zero support and you need to keep healing yourself, then yeah, you would pick Roadhog. D.Va, if you want to take out some of the, you know, like a Widowmaker. Same for Winston as well. If you need to disrupt the enemy's offensive capability, then you would take like a Winston or a D.Va. But Zarya, she plays more like a damage offense hero, really. I think that's why she suits my playstyle a little bit more, because I like playing 76 and I like playing Widowmaker and people like that who can do damage. With Zarya, you're on the front line doing damage, and it's a really nice experience. So yeah, you can kind of say that she's strong against a lot of heroes, but I'd probably say that, you know, Pharah, Junkrat, Bastion and McCree, she's probably the strongest against. But you've still got to be clever with what you do, especially with McCree, because he can still take you out. So who the hell would you be weak against? Well, I guess you're weak against Widow and Hanzo at range, because you don't move fast, right, with Zarya. You're a massive Russian bodybuilder lady. So you move pretty slow, and you've got a massive Omnic, like, fusion cannon thing. Pulse, I don't even know what it is. A mental weapon that you're carrying around. You're pretty slow, right? So if they're shooting you from range, yeah, you can use your barrier to absorb a couple of the hits, but you're still going to take damage, probably too much damage, and you're going to die before you can even do anything about them. So you've got to be aware of that. Also, as ever, Hanzo's scatter arrow can just take you out, which is nice. Soldier 76 can be a major problem as well, because your barrier only lasts for 2 seconds and it only absorbs 200 damage and then it disappears. Soldier 76 is probably not going to do 200 damage to you in 2 seconds, but well, he might do if he gets his Helix rocket into you and then headshots you. But he is just going to poke you. Your shield drops, you're going to need to move, he's going to keep shooting you, and you're probably going to die before you can kill him. He's really, really annoying. Genji can be annoying as well, because Genji can jump away from you, because you don't have massive range with Zarya. You've got medium and then you've got long range. You don't sort of have any, you don't have like medium to long range, and it's also pretty difficult to keep your short to medium range attack, which is your beam, onto the target, because it's pinpoint accurate. Like, there's no AoE component to this. It just goes wherever you are aiming and it does damage on that point. So a Genji jumping around can be quite frustrating, and of course this extends to a Tracer. If she's jumping around all over the place, she can be very, very frustrating, because she's going to shoot you, she's going to move back, she gets fucking annoying. I think that's probably it, to be honest. All you've got to think with Zarya is you want to be on the front line, you want to entice people to attack you, then you want to pop your barriers to give yourself maximum charge, then you want to start doing doing damage even. In terms of the attacks to use, a lot of the time, I think most of the attacks I do use would be the secondary attack. This is because it does AoE damage and you can fire it in from long range, so you can drop this into groups of enemies. Enemies will group together, you know, most of the time the enemy team will probably have a Reinhardt. It'll be on the payload, it'll be on the choke point, or there'll be some sort of Torbjorn, there might be a Bastion or something. Zarya is very effective against bombing them. Even like a Widowmaker, if a Widowmaker is sniping you, although I just said she is a counter to you, you can dislodge her from that position. If you get close enough and fire your secondary attack in, it will knock her out of position, because she's not going to stand there and take the damage, but it does have a small knockback component to it, so it does bounce you around. Pretty interesting. Anyway, there you go, guys. That has been the counter class for the tank heroes. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you've got any tips you would like to leave on any of the heroes, then do so below in the comments. If you like the video, then like the video, subscribe to the channel. You can follow me on Twitter, which is @UnitLostGaming, and I'll catch you next time, guys, for the final one, which will be on the support heroes. Toodaloo.